preview the Monday night football game. It's a big game for both teams, actually, in different respects. And it's Spurs, Tottenham at home, taking on a managerless and, frankly, pretty poor Aston Villa side that really need to get something fast from these games. Odds-wise, it's going to be clear. Spurs are well out in front in that sense. They're very hot favourites to win the game. We'll come on to our tips a little bit later on. Give you a little bit of flavour to the game. Aston Villa, frankly, have been disappointing this season. Tim Sherwood always felt he had a big job on his hands, and he was very open in admitting it was a work in progress, his side. However, it didn't work for him, and he was relieved of his duties earlier last week. And frankly, you can understand why. He'd had a good start to his Aston Villa career as a manager, obviously guided them to a really good run in the Cup. But in the league, they still struggled. He has spent money. Appreciate he lost a couple of his better players, but he spent money and the replacements just haven't lived up to the hype. Spurs, on the other hand, I think have had a pretty reasonable start to the season. It's great to see Harry Kane firing goals again if you're an England fan as well with the summer ahead. Also, you've got to consider the fact that Spurs are the sort of team that they used to be able to creep into that top four. I don't think they're going to be expected to do that now. But with the league the way it is, I think they'll surprise a few people. Maybe can get to the latter stages of the FA Cup or put in a good performance here and there and surprise a few people. But let's check out the stats for this game. We've picked out a few that are pretty telling on why we think the odds are set the way they are and why people are, especially our members, are backing Spurs. So Spurs have lost just one in their last 13 Premier League games against Villa. So effectively, whilst they lost that one at home relatively recently, they've got a good record if you like the head-to-head stats. Villa seemed to find discipline a bit of an issue in this game, and last season had 2 red cards, one at the away and one at the home venue. Interesting. I don't think it'll be that relevant in this particular game, and I don't think Aston Villa are a dirty side as such. Spurs unbeaten in their last 9 Premier League games and are the only unbeaten side since the opening match day. So after they lost to Manchester United, they've gone on a bit of a run. Plenty of draws in there, but don't forget that was when Harry Kane wasn't scoring, and he seems to have been back in the groove now. Villa, meanwhile, gosh, this is a woeful statistic. They've lost 8 of their last 10 Premier League games in the season, becoming only the 10th side to lose more than 8 games or more, I should say, in the opening 10 games of this season. Of those previous 9, 5 at the end of the campaign. I'd love your thoughts on this. If you think Aston Villa are going down this season, comment on the video below and let us know. Give us your predictions for this game. But I want to know, are Villa going down? Simple yes, no. I think they are. We come on to Harry Kane. Spurs hitman Harry Kane. He's bagged 4 goals in his last 4 appearances. Obviously had that great game against Bournemouth, and he seems to have hit form. You know, he was scoring the odd goal here and there for England on international duty, but he's come back into the league side and he looks like he is on fire, ready to fire Spurs to hopefully, for Spurs fans, some good results. And I think they're a bit of a side that have been underestimated this season. I don't think they've always had the rub of the green Spurs. Be fascinating to see if they spend some more money in January. Obviously, Bernardinho was a player they were linked with. Nearly came to the club from what we understand. Terms just couldn't be agreed between West Brom and them. He had had some much needed firepower. New signing Son looked good, but he's likely to miss out with injury this week. So until they get him back, I think Spurs are going to be very reliant on Harry Kane. And good job he's in the goals for them. Well, we'll give you our bets for the game. These come from our members as well. We've got 3 bets to share with you now. We go with, OLBG members are going with a short one on the actual outcome of the result. 4 to 9 bet 365, Spurs to win. I expect if there's been a good weekend, favourites this price will shorten because plenty of people will be waiting on Spurs to win to pick up a few results. So you might want to lump on now. Harry Kane to score at any time. Just odds against with bet 365. I think that's a good looking bet. He's going to feature for the 90 minutes. Spurs have not got strength in depth when it comes to their strikers, so he could pop up at any point. And Villa, frankly, have leaked goals for fun. Spurs have got some creative players in their midfield. I foresee Harry Kane definitely getting a goal or 2. And we went for one at a bit of a price. People tend to like something to have a bit of a shot at. And I don't think Villa are the worst side going forward. I think Scott Sinclair, players like that have caught my eye this season. They've got enough creativity to carve out a goal, perhaps Gested from a corner, something like that. But we think Spurs to win 3-1 at 12 to 1. Out of all the scoreline bets, it looks a pretty strong fancy. So those are 3 tips. Spurs to win at a short price, Harry Kane to score any time at a slightly bigger price, and the outsider, I suppose, if you like, of the 3 bets, Spurs to win 3-1 at 12-1. Why not? Guys, I want to thank you for our time. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out our other videos. We've got other match previews for this game week and ones coming up. And give us your comments. If you're a Spurs fan, where do you think you finish this season? And Aston Villa, are they going down? Let us know. Thanks for watching.